And we're in this time.
Are we?
We are. Yes, it's there. It's there. So I can share this into a few groups and then we're good to go, ladies.
Sorry, Facebook.
Oh,
They kicked us
yeah.
out and hid our
Yep.
link. So there's your desperation measures right
It's
there.
like when we plan an event, when there's the event that's planned in there, it's like,
Mhm.
seems like what seems to be getting us flagged, right? But you just go instant live and we were okay that time.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Catch them off guard, right? Because as soon as we post for any of our guests or anything like that, we're automatically eyeballed. And look what happened to Bobby.
I know, right?
Do you know that they cut off his Wi-Fi and cell service for 24 hours after our event? He messaged me the next day and said, "This is the first time I've had cell service back. I am so sorry. We'll continue this another time."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all of our lovely patriots on here with us, just know he would have been with us, but sadly, that's the desperation when you're trying to silence the truth, right? They literally cut him off for 24 hours.
Which is convenient because all of Fraudchi's emails came out just 2 days after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was on to something very big in that show. And they shut him down for 24 hours in his own home, cell service and Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now Fraudchi's emails are everywhere.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Another conspiracy theory come true.
Oh, I know, right?
That's not true, Danielle. I was psychic.
Yeah. we've been psychic for over a year now.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, at least.
There millions of us around the world. Millions of us around the world have just, we're all psychic. It's that's
all of
that's
our
that
beautiful, beautiful audience. They're very gifted in their psychic abilities as well.
Absolutely.
But another exciting thing this week, I mean, we went from the whole no elections until COVID's over to, voting to keep us locked down or for the emergency authorization until December. And then out pops Fraudchi's emails. What you gonna do about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then we get the virologist and immunologist from Guelph coming out saying we made a massive mistake. Spike protein in these vaccines is a complete toxin to your bodies. It is accumulating in your organs and tissues, aka liver, spleen, bone marrow, very high quantities in ovaries and testes. That screams infertility, friends.
Yeah.
And people are pushing their children to get this. And now they want to hit the 12-year-olds. Are you kidding me?
I know.
One of my daughter's friends actually said, and I know I'm on a rant, but actually said,
rant away, girl, rant away.
Don't worry. I don't take Canadian information. Our family takes it from the UK.
So much better.
Are you getting the UK quacks? What is happening? Can you see and feel that divide there? Something's not connecting.
It's insane because I want to say, I think it was the end of May, beginning of June, there was a UK investigator who had whistleblowers come forward and say that this injection that they were making was to make people infertile.
Yeah.
Okay. And from the UK. And that went around like wildfire. And back then when we were all posting and sharing information and, all the evidence and information that we had in our hands, people were laughing, mocking, all of the above. And here we are 1 year later, and we
still begging to be wrong. Begging to be wrong.
Wrong. I know.
Not even happy we're right.
Oh, I know.
I wish we could
You're
eat
wrong
crow
about
on
this
this,
stuff.
and we can't.
I know.
And we'll continue to not, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always a beautiful thing when somebody comes around that's been looking at the content or ignoring it for the longest time, and then they finally start to look at a few little nuggets here and there, and then something starts to resonate, and truth resonates, as we always say. And once they do, it's just this beautiful flower that's opening up, and they're hungry for information and they want more.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you can't unlearn this stuff. It's like riding a bike.
No.
Once you've learned how to do it, you're not going to unlearn how to ride the bike.
Mhm.
You just keep wanting more, and you go faster, and you get better equipment, and and so, and what I love too is, when we're talking about with Dr. Buttar, when he was on before too, is this list of doctors and people to be so discredited. And again, all the stuff that they're the ones that are coming out with, they're the ones that are leading the way, as when they say the disinformation, but really at the end of the day, they're the ones that are forefront of this information that's coming out. And here we are again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are again.
I know you know about this Delta variant because this is hilarious to me. So they have changed the name of the Indian variant to the Delta variant because they think people are stupid. So let's talk about
rebrand it.
What happened to the Indian variant.
Oh, I mean, it was only the government themselves that said, hey, this doesn't exist. And they put out a press release and said, you guys better start pulling this off of social media and every other types of forms of media, because this doesn't exist. So stop spreading misinformation around the globe.
Mm-hmm.
That's the facts.
And what does our government do? We changed the name to Delta.
Yay, government. Yay, government.
Oh, I'm so frustrated, you guys. The mind games and the word plays and the fact that people can't see and read through it and put it together. Do you know what they need someone to read it for them, and the news is going to read it for me. So they're my friend.
Alicia and I were talking today, though, too, Amanda, that as frustrated as we are through so much of this stuff, it's kind of a beautiful time to be alive right now.
It honestly is. I know.
We know that there's so many silver linings. We would have never found each other had all of this stuff happened. That would have never happened in a million years.
Yeah.
This stuff that's been going on around the globe has been going on for many, many years under our noses, and they've been waving it in front of our faces, and they laugh about it to us. And yet we're oblivious to it. So it's always been happening. So it's not like this has just started happening to us in the last year. It's always been happening. This plan has been in place for 30, 40, 50 years, right? Even hundreds of years, certain elements of it. And it's it's just showing itself now. It's just rearing its ugly head now, but it's always been going on. And they can say ignorance is bliss, but I would way rather be awake to everything that's going on so that we can get rid of this illusion of freedom that we have and really start finding our way into true freedom. Because I think there is supposed to be a level of freedom that we have of, freedom of travel, without all of these passports and restrictions and stuff. We own all the land, all of these things that we've become aware of that we didn't know about before. So, there's so many silver linings to it. And the fact that we actually have the ability to fight what our grandfathers fought for. It's a different type of war. This is an information war. It's not a guns a-blazing and grenades. It's a spiritual war. It is an information war. And, we are definitely, leading the way with getting that information out. And kudos to everybody who is, watching with us today and that has hung their balls out on the line to really step away from the normal. I know that there's so many people in this movement that they literally feel like they are alone in this, and you're not alone. We're all starting to find each other. We're using this platform that was supposed to be used against us to get information from us and to know everything that we're doing. As soon as you say, that you're looking for something, it comes up on your social media feed, right? Like all of these things that was never put in place for our benefit, but now we're using it to our benefit to be able to get information out and to find our like-minded community, because we are now leading the way. We are winning this war. The information is getting out and people are waking up more and more every day, and more of these leaked emails, you're going to start to see it. It's going to be just like a Watergate of information coming out. So silver linings, and I'm happy to be awake to what's going on with this stuff and to see what's going on, to connect with the like-minded, not feel so alone. And it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah. And you can't undo hundreds of years of corruption and just, whatever in
a couple months,
16 months.
But I want to.
Oh, you and me both.
I want to.
You and me both.
I try to be patient, but in this regard, I am the most impatient. I'm like, it's been a year. It's been a year and a half, and we really want this to be done and over with, and we've been working so hard for all this time. And the thing is that when new pieces come, we know where that fits. It's like we had, 1,000 pieces on a table, and we've been putting pieces together to figure out what this is. And now when new pieces come, because we've been doing this for so long, we know exactly where that fits and where it correlates to, because this is not a singular attack on humanity. This is a multi-dynamic and multifaceted attack on humanity. This is not just about, an injection. It's a multitude of things, and I just even today, and this is something that I'm actually going to start focusing more on, especially, when people would laugh and mock and joke, you even mention, 5G technology, and they think it's a joke. They're like, ha ha ha, it's just for faster cell phone service. It's like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. No, you haven't looked at any literature. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. You also don't understand the correlation between everything that's happened, throughout time. And so today, even on my Instagram, I uploaded, which is basically a guy who repairs cell phones. And he literally had two smartphones side by side. And he showed everybody, he's like, listen, no cell phone in Canada is compatible with 5G tech. The chip that's meant to go in these cell phones, it's missing. It's not there. So they're selling you cell phones that you're paying all this money for, and they're telling you, it's 5G technology, it's faster cellular service. It's a lie. It's a lie. So why are they building all of this 5G infrastructure? See, they have to sell you a BS phone that you think is for this purpose, but it's not for this purpose, right? So you look at China in 2019 in October. They went full 5G because that is how their facial recognition technology runs and operates. They need that tech. But if anybody understands, EMF and RF radiation, it actually causes a lot of the symptoms that people are sick with.
Respiratory, yeah. Because what is it? The hertz that it runs at has the ability to affect red blood cells, the oxygen in red blood cells. And I'm not deep in it, because let me tell you, my eyeballs are completely full with what I've got going on right now. There's just no way I can tunnel in on one more thing right now, but I do know. And yeah, I completely agree with you. Nope, it's gone. Whatever I was going to say is gone.
Well, I'll be real.
Comments tonight, ladies, are like, I'm welling up a little bit. Like, everybody's just so loving and awesome. I just wanted to make a comment. We're reading all your comments, you guys, and bless
and for those of you that are wondering where Tanya is, Tanya's been driving over to go and see Amanda. So she's still on the road, and she didn't get it. I think she's going to be over at your place in about 10 minutes or so there, Amanda, I think she said. And
yep. So I have to run.
Yeah.
Yep. When she gets here, I have to run. Yep. 10 minutes. Oh, there it is. She's almost here.
10 minutes away?
Yeah. So before I have to jump off, I just want to say, if you guys are coming out to any of the freedom rallies, Tanya and I are both going to be at London tomorrow, Saturday,
Nice.
at Victoria Park, and Ty Nicholson will be there. Kristen Nagel will be there. It's going to be a great event. And then on Sunday, we are going to be in Waterloo Town Square. So we're going to bring a couple of our books, The Brave, that Lonnie put out, and you can come, and Tanya and I will sign our chapters for you. And I think we're going to charge $20 for them. All that money is going to go in towards the Canada Day event.
Nice.
So if you want to come pick up a book, all 4 of us have written chapters in that book, and so many other just amazing, brilliant souls have stories in there as well. Come on out. And anything that we get goes back towards the cause. Obviously, I don't have to tell any of you that the 4 of us are nothing but volunteers. We do this for the right reasons. We do this because we care and we want to see stuff done. Any donations go towards giving back to you guys and just, you know, lighting your souls on fire.
And I think that's the big thing. Go ahead, Alicia.
I was just going to say, you know, like we have so many, you know, beautiful people who need their voices heard. And when we do this and run this campaign, this No Choice, No Freedom campaign, that's your voice. We're basically megaphones for all of your voices. So know that. So when people donate, know that 100% of those proceeds are going for this action campaign. It's going towards action. And so your voice is being heard. You may not be speaking it, but you are leading the charge, because we're all a community. We're all one big family. And we, the 4 of us ladies, we represent you.
Yeah. Well, we try to the best of our ability. We know everybody's got their different opinions and whatnot, and that's fine.
And there's something you said there too, Amanda, there about, you know, giving back to you. And it's this Canada Day event that we've got planned July 1st is so much for everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. Like, we know that everybody who's watching us, they know where we stand with the masks and the shot, and you know, but we really want this event to be for everybody, because enough is enough already with the divide. This is not an event to be. This is not a traditional protest in the sense where we're out there standing up for our freedom, but we want unity, we want connection, we want everyone to feel welcome, because this is about families. We're all outside, you know, and we are coming together with music. Music brings together people like nothing else does. So, you know, this is about everybody coming out and uniting, and just let's put the divide aside for a day, and let's just enjoy music together. You want to distance? You can distance off on the side. You want to wear your mask? Wear your mask. But let's just come together and stop with the divide and enjoy some music together. And we've got a heck of a lineup coming too.
We sure do. Yep. And for anybody who's going to be joining us in Vancouver, it will be at Vanier Park. And if you guys have been to Vanier Park, if you want to socially distance, my friend, you can socially distance. There is so much room, but we promise you this: wherever you stand, you're going to hear that music pumping loud and clear.
I gotta go.
Yes, she's here. Okay, give her a hug for us. Give her a hug for us.
Squeeze. Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you guys, this is the first time. Well, sorry. This will be the first significant time that Tanya and I have ever gotten together.
Yeah.
We met briefly in Ottawa last August when I was there to speak at Parliament Hill. Yeah. I've never met these 2 ladies in person, just for the record. And I have no idea where the Canada Day celebration is. That's why it's hilarious. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, and we're coming out to
surrounded by ocean. Yeah.
Before you run, Amanda, I know that you know about numerology and stuff too. So, you know, we know that the event is on July 1st, and we're going to be holding it from 1 o'clock till 11 o'clock p.m. And what we didn't know when we were planning all of this, because you know about all the 11s and the 1s, right? And what we didn't know when we were planning this event, that the address is 1100 Chestnut Avenue. So it's just like
Mhm.
11s are everywhere. It's just like God's numbers are just saying, this is the place,
Mhm.
this is the time, this is the day for you guys. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
I
going to
love
be
right.
it.
a beautiful thing.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I'll see all of you tomorrow in London with Tanya, or on Sunday in Waterloo. Again, like I said, if you want a copy of the book, I bought all the books myself. So we're going to charge $20 and Tanya and I will both sign it. That money is going directly to fund, the stuff that the Freedom Org is doing, like Canada Day and any of our other little
Projects on the go.
projects on the go.
Our
Yeah.
irons in a few fires, don't we?
Oh, we
Well,
have a lot of work, guys. A lot of
and
work.
we actually we have some people that have reached out to us that's in the Lower Mainland here in the city who have asked, who've requested for the wraps for their car, for our Freedom Organization, to get the word out there, because we have to do this in a sense manually. Look how difficult it was for us to even start this live. We had to figure out the loopholes, and that's where we have to run with it, right? We got to figure out all the loopholes, and the more the community wants to help us do that, we really appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Amanda, you run. I can see Tanya's texting our group, and she's like so
I'm
excited to
so
see you.
excited.
Tanya, we
I
love
gotta
you
go.
too, Tanya, and we're and
Give her a hug for us.
I will hug her.
And then we'll see you again and talk as we always do, but I can't wait till we see you too in a few weeks. It's
Oh,
gonna be
me
good.
either. Me either. Love you, ladies. Bye,
love you
too.
everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Chat with you in a bit. Oh my goodness, I'm jealous that they're seeing each other again already.
I know, right?
I
We have
can't wait for 2 weeks.
FOMO. We have FOMO, right? Because we have to
Absolutely.
wait. We have to wait now until the event, the Canada Day event. But you know what? That event, you guys, our fam that's on here right now know we are working so hard to bring you something like you have
Really special.
not experienced in a long time. We've got an amazing group of people who are working really, really hard on this, and just know this is going to be something really, really special, and you want to be there.
Yeah, and such a great opportunity to bring your families together out here. We're going to have
Yes.
a lot of fun stuff for the kids set up.
Yep.
Great opportunity to come out, bring out your picnic baskets, your blankets, your lawn chairs. And just a great
Good
opportunity
idea.
to just spend the day out at the beach. We're this setting there. I suggest too, like Amanda, Tanya are coming out. We have other people that are going to be traveling to come and see us. Come to Vancouver, because it's going to be an amazing day. Travel with them. Get out here. We know there's been some car convoys that have come out this way, so let's get some people on the plane. Get out here.
We've got Shane's with us. Hey, Shane. So Shane is our amazing freedom fighter, and as you can see, he's proudly displaying our Freedom Organization poster on his rig. So if you guys go to our Facebook, you're going to see pictures of his rig, and we so appreciate you, Shane. You have no idea. We have so much love and appreciation for you.
It's a beautiful site, and for anybody who doesn't know, Shane's rig goes back and forth from Alberta twice a week, and so that's a lot of advertising getting out there for us. So it's just getting people to see the Freedom Organization so that they know where to go. It's another avenue for information for people, and so we just want to open up that door to anyone who looks at it. And I think Shane was mentioning one of his first truck stops. There was 4 or 5 people that were already hopping out and taking a picture to know where to get the information from and stuff. So that's excellent. We're really grateful for you, Shane. Thank you so much for what you're doing for us.
Yep. And we should actually talk about the raffle that we're doing, because it was amazing that Voltaire Sports donated this e-scooter, this Jano bike, which the retail on it is $2,000. I've ridden them a couple of times. They're so much fun.
Brian always says, this is not your child's scooter. This thing goes extinct.
Yeah, it's totally not your child's scooter. But you know what? We wanted to also, we try and be very creative, and as we've always appreciated when, donations are given, we try to do things to give back. So even though all the money that gets donated, it always goes back in the community, but we're like, what can we do to also, give back, where we, get to give something really cool to somebody, like you come and you enjoy the day and you listen to great music and you have a great time. And then, you might walk away with this Jano bike. And I mean, hey, who wouldn't, right? A $20 ticket is literally, you could walk away with a $2,000 kick-ass scooter. And, so.
Yeah. So $20 tickets. And if you buy 10, you get one free. And you got to think too, like this is like, it's just people who are seeing our content are the ones that are going to be are going to be going into the draw. And I know we did quite well at our Vancouver Freedom Rally when we had it there. And, so this is just word of mouth that we're using to get out there. So your chances of winning it are a lot better than a lottery.
Yep. Oh, 100%. And as a reminder to everybody as well, Voltaire Sports will ship this thing anywhere in Canada. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country. If you want to get in on this raffle, we'll be doing the draw in the evening at the event. We haven't decided a time, but I've always, liked 7.
Sevens are your number.
Or 7, maybe 7:30, something that's got 7 in there. But anyways, so, when we do the draw, we will upload the winning ticket on all of our social media platforms, including the website, just that shows that confirmation of that ticket. But again, they are going to ship it anywhere across the country. So, definitely get in on that.
All you need to do is just e-transfer the freedomorg1@gmail.com. And when you're doing your e-transfer, at the place where you have a section for notes, just put your name and your phone number and your email address in there. And once your e-transfer comes in, Alicia will actually send you back a picture of your ticket. So, and then once you've got your ticket, then we will, like Alicia said, we'll be drawing that on Canada Day event. And I think 7:00 is a good number because there's probably the families, maybe with the younger kids are probably going to be heading out maybe, shortly after or whatever, before we really start pumping up the party. So yeah, it'll be great. And also too, one of the things that Brian's company was going to be doing was allowing somebody to upgrade, that if they wanted to get, I know Brian's got a couple of other, he's got e-bikes and he's got the e-water, it's like surfboards, is it sort of thing? He's got some really neat equipment, you guys. So if you decide that you don't want the scooter and you want to put the $2,000 towards upgrading into another piece of equipment, then that's an option for you as well. So.
Yeah. And so Rhonda was asking, can you buy tickets the day of the rally? Yes, you can. So tickets will be sold until we basically, do the raffle and pull that number out. And so if you're there and you're at the event and we pull your raffle ticket, then I guess you're just going to take it home. Make sure you got room in your trunk. So clear out a space. Okay, so aside from all of that fun stuff, what else? I know we were talking about.
Well, we were talking a little bit about some of the leaked emails from Fraudschi.
We can't say his name because we think that's how Bobby got kicked off of our conference, because he kept repeating his name, because he's done a significant amount of work, background on the fraud of Fraudschi. And, it just goes to show you, them shutting him down for 24 hours just goes to show you the powers that be that are trying to suppress the truth. But the beautiful thing is those emails now, there's over 3,000 pages. ICANN is going to be uploading about 3,000 more pages. I can't wait to dig in. It's going to be great.
Whoever thought that your good nighttime read was going to be something about him.
I know, right? I know. But you know what? This basically, if anybody hasn't been exposed to those emails, know that everything that we have been exposing everything, even the prophylaxis medications and everything that people should have been given and have access to. It is all exposed in those emails. He knew from the very get-go this was something that was manufactured in a lab. He knew that masks don't work. In fact, he sent out emails himself saying that they didn't work. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to, I can't say the medication names because we don't want to deal with all the garbolio. And I don't even know, like, Danielle, what kind of name can we give the H and the C and the Q? Maybe that's how we'll say it. Yep.
Put the ands in between.
Right. That was something that would have saved so
a lot of lives.
Many people.
It's not a pandemic when you've got a cure.
100%. And you can't have an injection agenda under an emergency use authorization when there is clear medications and even natural remedies of D and C and zinc, etc., keeping yourself healthy. They wouldn't be able to pull what they're pulling right now. This is why the Canadian government has also done what they've done in Ontario. They've extended this thing till December because they're like, oh, we need more time to try and coerce and force people to take this injection. And the WHO made an announcement when it comes to children and basically said, children, because children have no risk in this. They really don't. They really, really don't. And so the WHO came out and said, children are not a priority. Okay, well, if they're not a priority, then tell me why is North America trying to coerce children, convince children they don't need their parents' permission. We know they're not going to be given informed consent. They're being coerced with ice creams and fries and all of this garbage. Why are you coming after our kids? That is the reality. They are coming after our children.
And I want to let people know too that Action for Canada has got an updated liability form that you can submit to the schools, because the scary thing is with the Child Infant Act, where children as young as the age of 12 can choose to make a medical decision for them. And let's face it, at the age of 12 years old, what you wanted at 12 is not the same thing that you wanted at 20, is not the same thing you wanted at 30 and 40 and etc. So a 12-year-old should not be making life-altering, DNA-altering, experimental drug decisions for themselves at the age of 12. And, one thing that I was, sharing with another family member is that, because I've got family that has one parent is on one side, the other parent is on the other side of things. And I said, until the two of you can at least come to an agreement, and, that they both felt like that probably was never going to happen. Well, then at that point, you should not be making a decision without both doing due diligence on either side of the fence. Because honestly, if there is one parent that is on, say the same side that, what we're trying to educate people on, once you look at that information, you can't unlearn that information. We were saying that earlier, because there is so much, like, why would anybody say, we tell our kids their whole lives, don't experiment with drugs. And yet here we are pushing them into experimental ingredients where this type of shot has never been around before. They have no way of knowing long-term health effects of this. So why are we being so quick to sign up for it? It just doesn't make any sense. And until both parents are on the same side, they absolutely should not be making any decisions. And I know that there's parents that are on the same side, and we probably aren't going to be able to help that situation. But at the end of the day, the child should not be able to make decisions for themselves. That is a law that the government put in place to take away parental rights. And I don't care who you are or what side of the fence you're on things. Nobody should be telling your child or coercing your child into doing something behind your back. So that liability form that is on Action for Canada's website is something that you can present for the schools, because make no mistake, even if you are very aware of what's going on and you think that your child is on your side, with not going ahead with this, the amount of coercion that is happening within the schools, and people, never mind just the fact that they're afraid, that is peer pressure enough to sometimes make a young child collapse to somebody that they should be respecting. And it's important that the schools know to keep their paws off your kids. So, that that mama bear shirt that other shirt that I have, it's just like, you need to be able to stand up for your kids and not just assume that because you are not for that wouldn't happen, because there is coercion that's happening with ice creams and money and coloring books and all sorts of things that are going on, gift certificates. So don't assume that they're just going to stay away. Present the school with the liability form so that they know that they are going to be, if anybody's giving advice to your child, and let's face it, I mean, teachers have their place and experts have their place. And even we know that there's a lack of information on one side of things, and they're being educated by the pharmaceutical industry. So in the schools, they should not be educating your children. So the only person that should be doing that is within the parents. Slap them with that liability form, because they need to know that if they're coming after your kids, you're coming after them.
Yeah. And I'd like to, just one thing with that as well. I want everybody on here to think about the fact that there are adults that really don't want to get this either, but they do it because of peer pressure. Because, I needed to do it because of my job. My job told me this. So, it's high risk and I got to do it. So I just did it. I wasn't going to do it, but I just did it. If an adult can be coerced or be put under peer pressure so easily, can you imagine your child? Right? So,
Alicia, I've got friends that honestly know what you and I know.
Yeah.
And their family pressured them so badly that they went and got it. And it wasn't because they believed in it themselves, but they didn't want to deal with this segregation that the family was giving them. And it's sad when I've heard this, I'm like, but you know about this. And they're like, I'm just going to put a prayer over myself. And I'm like, okay, I put prayer over there for you too. But if an adult can be coerced, a 12-year-old can very easily be coerced.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, like we said, adult or child, right? So this is where you need to, regardless of anything, you need to fight for your kid. And fighting for your kid is going on Action for Canada, get that liability letter, serve them with it, serve the school, serve everybody that goes near your kid with it. And just say, you go near my kid, you talk to my kid about this, you breathe one word to my child, and I'm coming after you. Here's your notice of liability. And this is what's going to be the repercussion if you even breathe near my kid about any of this.
This is a time that you've got to stand up as a parent like you never have before. And again, don't assume that that your kids are just going to know, to side with you, because we need to forewarn our children on how to stay strong against this and to make sure that they're communicating with you if there is anything that's going on. I brought up a question here that Jen Strathy brought up, Alicia, and it was, where can she get the liability form for the employer? So I believe that Tanya Gaw with Action for Canada has got a liability form for both the kids. I know 100% for the kids, and I believe that she's got one on there for employers as well. So that is actionforcanada.com, right?
No, I think it's Action
No,
for Canada.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's pretty sure it's actionforcanada.com, I believe.
Okay.
Because we're .ca, and I always know that it's the opposite of us.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds, and I'll get that for you, Jen. Here we go. actionforcanada.com. So, and then she's got quite a few drop downs on there, and anybody who's looking for excellent content, know that Rocco Galati is actually looking at a lot of the forms that are getting put up there, as well as like the children's mask exemption letter that was written for my son by David Lindsay. Rocco's had a look over that as well. So a lot of these forms have got legal backing behind them, and if there's anything that needed to be tweaked or turned, then it's had some very important eyes on these documents. So Jen, do take a look through there and see if there's something on there for employers. And another question that we had, Alicia, was by one of our viewers, and he was asking about this as well. Like, can an employer force getting the vaccine? Because this is another question that a lot of people have too.
So no, they can't. No, obviously, not only is that against the Nuremberg Code, you cannot coerce anyone to take anything and threaten their employment. That is a massive constitutional breach of your rights, breach of Section 7 of the Charter, which is life, liberty, and security of a person. So no, they cannot do that. And this is where we're at right now. And actually, I was talking to my stepdad about this yesterday. This is what the government uses. They use fear. They use the things where I'm worried about, I'm not going to be able to keep my job. How am I going to pay my bills? And, I know it's really hard, but people have to surrender in knowing that if you take this, you may not have a life to live. You may not have a job to have. If we don't fight this, then we may not have a future. It's going to be stolen from us. It's going to be taken from us. And so this is the time against all odds, and the universe will take care of you. It always works out when you stand in your own and you stand in truth. And I want to share with everybody as well, when it comes to PCR testing for their job as well. This is something that is in the Federal Labor Code of Canada, that no employer can force any type of DNA genetic testing on their employees. That is verbatim. That is in the literature. So if any of you are being told by your employer that, no, you have to take this, you go on to the Federal Labor Code, you print that out, you serve it to them. Okay? And if they even breathe that they're going to fire you, then that is actionable. That is actionable under the labor law, and you can sue their ass off. And this is what people need to start doing. They need to they need to make a phone call to a labor law lawyer, because that's against the labor code. You are protected. It is based on just knowing your rights, knowing the laws, and knowing how you can execute those. And one letter from a labor law lawyer basically saying that they are going to try and fire you for discriminatory reasons, which is based in the Federal Labor Code, that they cannot coerce or threaten you to take a genetic DNA test. Like, their butts are on the line for a lot of, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And so you have to just take your strength in that and
know your rights, protect your rights, or lose your rights. It's as simple as that.
100%. Yes. So Mike has come late to the show and wants to know where Tanya and Amanda are. So just to recap for anybody, Tanya took a drive, which was 6 hours for her, to Amanda, because they are going to be attending back-to-back rallies, one in London, Ontario. Danielle, do you remember the second one, where the second one was on Sunday? If you go back into this live afterwards, you'll know where they're going to be but they're going to 2 rallies back to back. So they could not, Tanya couldn't join and Amanda couldn't stay. So we're going to carry this one. The two of us West Coast girls are going to carry this one for a bit. And we always love chatting with you guys too. And I love all the questions that Danny and I can look here and help you in any way that we can, and just talk about what's going on. So we did have one question too, just before we get to, and I'm trying to find it, guys, and I'm really sorry, but here we go. So I don't know if this will show up because it's a really big question. But so Paul wants to know if there's going to be a rebooking with Bobby, because especially with the release of the fraud sheet emails. And yes, there is. He reached out to us the next day and said that this will be to be continued. So you betcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Because he was just getting into the heart of some really good stuff too.
I know.
I know.
And it was like, I know.
I was like, where did he go?
Yeah, I know. He's such an amazing man. He is just, he's an encyclopedia. He's such an investigative researcher. He's done so much work, not only, when it comes to, the whole corruption of the pharmaceutical industry, but I was talking a little bit about 5G technology. He has done so much research because that is a technology that is causing a lot of damage to people, and they don't understand and they don't realize the consequences of this. And so if anybody, just to quickly touch base, well, I'm going to say it really simply. You need to pay attention to your surroundings. There's things that, if you look back when we were first shut down, while we were all locked up in our houses, 5G towers were being put up in lightning speed. Lightning speed. Now, when you start driving around in your neighborhoods, down your highways, I want you to start paying attention not only to those towers, but how many cameras, new cameras that were never there before, on your intersections, on the highways. In Vancouver, they are everywhere. They're completely lit up everywhere. I was with a girlfriend at a track, and we were walking around and just doing our circles. Okay,
you gonna say what you did?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'll share with all of you. Listen, I'm a very classy lady, okay? But you know what? In times like these,
Classy with a capital K.
So sometimes, listen, the people, those that be need to know, we know what's up. So we were walking the track, and there's 5G that's literally in one apartment building, and diagonally across, it's at another apartment building. And it's literally, I'm surrounded by it. And so my girlfriend, she takes a picture of it, and she zooms in, and the picture, she goes, "What is that?" And so I look at her phone, and I was like, "Oh, it's a surveillance camera." I said, "They're watching the whole park and the track. And this is what they're doing everywhere." So I decided to stand there and say hi with my middle finger. To let them know that I know exactly why that surveillance camera is there. So
can you just back up on the visual on that? Because she's out at a track, and people are running by, and Alicia's like
pretty much. And people are looking at me wondering, who's this girl fingering? Because my hand is literally up in the air, and I am fingering this surveillance camera. And
just let them know how you feel.
This is why. So I was explaining, if you guys follow me on Instagram, my handle is there. It's at Alicia CJ. I just uploaded something that's very important for everybody to see for themselves, which is a guy who he repairs cell phones for a living. That's what he does all day long, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And he literally opened up 2 smartphones where there is supposed to be the 5G chip. Okay, because they're selling everybody 5G right now. All the phones that they're selling, it's all 5G. It's all fast cellular service. It's all a bunch of BS. That's what it is. So he opens them up to show everybody there's no chip. There's no technology. There's no 5G technology. There's no phone in Canada that has 5G technology. So why are they throwing up all of these towers and selling you on something that doesn't exist in the phone you've bought? It's because 5G is not meant for your cellular phone. No. 5G is meant to run facial recognition, a complete surveillance system. And this is what they have in China. And this is how they use their social credit score. This is why they want to inject you so badly, because they want to force a passport, a V passport, because it has nothing to do with your health. It has nothing to do with medical anything. This is slowly trying to encompass all the pieces that they need to be able to have complete control over you. And that is with a social credit score system. This is communism coming. And it's like people don't realize that all of this stuff it's all correlated. It's all relevant. And there's one more thing, because I could go on all day with this stuff. But in October of 2019, China went full 5G. Now, We know that there were people that were getting ill. Now, I have the patents for this stuff, so I'm not just speaking out of my tush. If you research the symptoms of radiation poisoning from this stuff, you're going to see all the symptoms that people have been suffering from is actually from technology like this, including blood coagulation, blood clots. Okay. Now, I also want to tell you the one thing that they blocked around the world, the one medication, which is the H and the C and the Q, that is actually the treatment for radiation poisoning. So is this stuff starting to kind of make sense now, right? So in New York and places like Los Angeles, last year in the spring, you were seeing people that were coming in the hospital with upper respiratory stress, young people too. Now, if you look and you could see these maps of where all these towers are, New York was lit with that back then. Now you looked at a place like Mexico, you look at places like Africa, places that don't have infrastructure. They weren't having this problem. So all of these things are facets. They're all pieces. They're all relative and they all belong together. It is a puzzle and all of these pieces do fit when you put them together. So these are the things that we have to fight. So I encourage everybody who's on here to really start not just focusing on this injection, because this is one component of many, but this tech needs to be taken down just as much as everything else, because it is a big component of what's happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, so Alicia, I wanted to.
That's okay. You can call me Amanda.
It's not an insult, right?
Nope, not at all. Love her to bits.
I'm just looking through the comments as you're talking here as well. And you know me, I always like to address the elephant in the room. And so I've taken the comment off here, but Hope Springs Eternal had asked, whether or not and if I'm understanding the question correctly, about us being government agents, which is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, you know what?
I love that.
Well,
because we know how, is it because we know what we know? We have the knowledge.
Talking about, I guess. Yeah. And I just want to rest assured, I mean, we won't ever be able to convince you otherwise, but rest assured, we're a group of moms. We're just figuring this stuff out on our own. Alicia and I, we organized freedom rallies down in Vancouver, and we used to be very nervous about it. And we're nervous about getting on and doing lives and stuff. So we're just some moms just figuring this stuff out and sharing our thoughts and our opinions and things that we've learned from some really great medical experts. And so, yeah, we're doing our part and sharing information the best way that we can. So I hope that answers your question and puts a little bit of faith back into joining us on a weekly basis.
Yep. And I just want to add another little point to that as well. And I say this to everybody. We are all students. Mm-hmm. Everybody has the ability, if they put focus and effort on showing themselves the truth, taking the hours it takes to research. And I researched last year relentlessly. I would get maybe 4 hours a night of sleep when this first happened, because I knew it wasn't authentic. And the reason why, which of course Danny knows, and some people who know me understand how I knew, but I work in the wholesale industry. My manufacturers deal with China Direct, get all of their manufacturing China Direct. When Canada was getting shut down, China was back up and operating again. And I knew this. The public doesn't know this unless you're in my industry. So I knew something wasn't right, but this government shut my industry down. So I had the time. And when I know something's not right, I am going to spend however long it takes to find out what, why, and the who. And that's what I did. And all of you on here are capable of that. You all are. We all are.
And still to this day, I think I run on 4 hours sleep many nights a week, because I can't get enough information, and I just want to, and it's discerning information. Certainly there's a lot of stuff that's out there that's like, is that true? Is that true? But you look at all of it and again, the truth resonates. You put all the pieces on the table, and then you start to figure things out, or you hear things multiple times, and the truth reveals itself. The truth always shows itself. It will always rear its ugly head. And this, the what do you call him? Fraudshi is, this is just one. This is just one more thing. We've been learning about him for a long time, but now you're finally hearing about it on mainstream media. You're finally seeing the documentation of the stuff that we were already telling you back several months ago. So it's coming to a point where it's a little bit more ascertainable to be able to understand and to know that these things were actually happening out there. We've been screaming about it for a long time because we had to dig to get the information. Now it's coming to the surface, and it's a little bit more readily available for people who aren't prepared to do the 4 o'clock in the morning researching and like, true journalism. Really, this is what it should be about. But a lot of the people that are on media are just a bunch of talking heads to what the higher up are wanting the narrative to be. So, and it's all pharmaceutically funded, right? So it's a double end, who you want to get your information from are the same people that want to jab you. So it's really not, it's really conflict of interest. You have to go down other avenues to get information from different places. So, and of course, and then the very people that are discrediting the people that are stepping away from their jobs, stepping away from their families, risking their careers, risking their life and their livelihood. Who's discrediting them? The same people that are funded by the pharmaceutical companies that are the talking heads for the media around that little rat race. So you have to look at that information. Who is discrediting? Why are they discrediting? Because it changes the narrative of the same people that are getting all of the money to stick you with the jab. So
well, this is how I look at it. Those who have nothing to gain and everything to lose, those are the ones you should be lending your ear to and giving time to, and not scoffing at them. So I pulled up, this resonates with me, pulled up a little note from Doreen, and Doreen was like, I was in Facebook jail for 90 days and I learned a lot. Yes, Doreen, you and I have something in common, because I'm currently still in Facebook jail. This is my third 30-day fascist book grounding, but I'm out in 2 days. So you guys will see me again. I've had a lot of messages wondering where I am. Well, I'm coming. 48 hours, and I'm back.
Don't announce it, because then you're no sooner going to come out. Okay, you have to be good, because I need you to be able to do some advertising of some of these events that we're doing.
I know. So this is also important then, guys. There's some things that I just cannot post on Fascist Book. When I tried to upload the latest VAERS injury info for all of Europe, the UK, and Canada, it was an automatic 30-day ban, automatic. However, on Instagram, I can post those things. So you're just going to have to bounce between the two. I think the stuff that I know I might get slapped with another grounding, it's going to go onto Instagram. You're not going to see it on Fascist Book. So I just, that's just how it is. But a lot of the stuff that goes in there, it is backed by literature. I work very hard to make sure that a lot of things are backed by literature. They're backed by patents, and that's and it's all about sharing. Sharing is caring. I've had people say, "Hey, you know what? Can I post this stuff onto this, or can I use that?" I take it all.
Absolutely.
Take it all, because we do this. We all do this because we are creating a community. I call it a hive. There's millions of people around the world doing this, right? And so we are all sharing information, and as a community and a family, we're figuring this out, and we will win. We are going to win. In fact, it's already been won. It's just a matter of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just a couple of things I wanted to touch on, Amanda. Amanda, what did I do that twice now?
We got Amanda on the brain.
I'm missing Amanda. I do.
She's got Amanda on the brain.
But just a couple of things to touch on before we wrap up. With the last Freedom for Truth conference that we had, we also had Catherine Austin Fitts that was on, and we talked lots about Bobby, but I wanted to just touch on a couple of things with Catherine, because she touched on so many amazing financial aspects. Now, she actually used to be in the Bush administration. So this woman was overseeing and one of the things I thought was really significant is she mentioned that she was the person that used to oversee the medical expenses and where the government would say how jabs would help to lower the burden on the I'm not
Financial
saying
system,
not,
the
not
financial
so much on the
system.
financial, yeah, but on the medical industry and whatnot. That she was
Mhm.
said, I'm actually the person that oversees that, and I'm telling you, it actually adds a burden to the medical industry and the financial system. It's not the other way around like we believe it to be. But I loved what she talked. She talked about crypto. She talked about silver and gold. She talked about property. She talked about how to protect your money. She talked about you know, how to reinvest into new community and where you should be putting your money at this point. You know, it was amazing. And she was highly censored as well. She couldn't hear us, so we couldn't actually communicate with her. So she spent a lot of her time just answering the questions on the side of the bar.
She was
And
so amazing.
she carried it so beautifully. So considering it
Yeah.
was such a highly censored event, I think I had emails coming in from people saying that it was literally one of the most informational packed conferences that we've had. So if you haven't already watched it, please do go back and watch it, share it with everybody else, because there was some amazing content in there that she was able to share with people. So that was
Mhm.
one thing I wanted to say. And then I wanted to touch again on the fundraiser again. So please, if you want to pop up that link there, Alicia, for the freedomorg1@gmail.com. If you're wanting to get a ticket for that amazing Jano Bike e-scooter, it is zippy as all hell and it is raring to go. We're drawing the prize on July 1st, Canada Day event, and we really could use your help. This is your event, your Canada Day, bringing music to bring people together. Please, please, please consider donating. You're going to have an opportunity to win one of these bikes. If you buy 10 tickets, you get an 11th ticket for free, because 11s are a very special number, of course.
Yeah.
Address is 1100 Chestnut Avenue. It's from 1 till 11 p.m. on the 1st of July. So lots of ones. And so please do consider donating. We need the help, because this is completely done by volunteer, and there is a lot of expenses. This is going to be a more expensive event than usual, and we really need your help to do this. Otherwise, we're all coming out of pocket for it. And there's just a small team of us that are looking after this. So please, please, please consider donating and or getting yourself a ticket for that scooter. And hopefully, it's something. I hope the right person wins. And then last thing, I think, just was there anything you wanted to add, Alicia?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm just we've got a million moving parts. It's Danielle and I are always if only we could clone ourselves. But we are doing everything we can to make this event epic. Absolutely epic. If you could choose one word, I'll say it one more time: epic.
Epic.
Yes. And of course, also, I know the girls aren't with us, but we do have on June 18th, we've got our next Freedom for Truth conference with the amazing Dr. David E. Martin. I am so excited to have a conference with him. He's just a brilliant, brilliant man. I mean, all the wonderful, I call them humanitarians. It doesn't matter what they do, for a living. They're heroes and they're humanitarians. And so this is going to be another Robert K. I almost said his last name.
Yeah,
yeah, it was almost. This is going to be another Bobby and another Catherine Austin Fitz. Again, type of conference, and there's going to be a lot of good information. He's brilliant. He's smart, and he has uncovered so many more layers as well. And all of these amazing human beings work together, fighting with us. So yeah, it's going to be a great conference. So definitely make sure you join us. And also, because we are so heavily censored and it's bad, the best thing to do is you can find us on Facebook when we go live, but when you go to our website, it will always be on our website running live with Twitch. So if for some reason you go onto Facebook because that's where you plan on watching it and you don't find us, immediately go to the freedomorg.ca. It will be playing there. You can watch it there, and your number still counts. And, our polls, which actually, you know what, today is our last day, Danny, for that poll, right? So
Which
the
you can find
poll
on the
that,
Facebook page.
yes, absolutely. So please, if you haven't done the poll, please do the poll. We will be closing it out tonight.
Share. We want to get the information out there. There's some great questions that are in there. And if there's anything you're not comfortable with answering, you don't have to. It's private information. This is not linked to an individual person. This is just trying to get information that we think is going to help people. We're getting some feedback on some of the questions. We are going to be working with somebody on a better level that's volunteered to help us out with some of these polls. And that's going to be happening probably after we've done the Canada Day event, just because it was too much to take it on right now. But we are just really working on trying to ask questions that we feel are going to be helpful in really showing what the truth of the matter is, because we know that the government, we know that the media is skewing things like where you would vote, or where where you would, how many people actually want to get the shot, how many people want more lockdowns. So all of these types of questions, we're just trying to counter what we already know is going on out there. We want to show where the truth of what people really want and what that is. So there's no other reason for it. This is not being sold to government. We know that there's been people out there that have been concerned, and I get the fact that people are looking through things with, through the lenses of, we're all a little bit jaded right now. When you learn how much corruption we're dealing with, it's understandable that we're questioning everything. And that's good, because it's critical thinking. But just know that we're not doing anything with this information other than sharing it with you. And we will at some point be getting this information into the hands of people that we know that can help us with this information, so that we know where the truth is at. This is only about revealing truth and nothing more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So before we go, it's about it's about that time, as fun as we have with you guys always. And that's why we do Freedom Friday chats. It's just to catch up, and we want to hear from you guys. And we love, the questions that you have. And I did see a comment. Someone was asking if we were going to bring Dr. Andrew Kaufman and Dr. Tom Cowan, and they are both amazing. And yes, we have every intention on bringing them into one of our conferences. So, definitely look forward to that as well. And
somebody was asking too, just about the price of the tickets again. So it's $20 for one. And if you buy 10 tickets, you get an 11th one for free. And you can e-transfer the freedomorg1@gmail.com and put your name, email, and phone number into the notes part of your e-transfer. And Alicia will then send you over a picture of your ticket. Otherwise, we will be selling them directly at the event in Vancouver, Vanier Park on Canada Day. I will also be speaking at a rally on June 18th. Alicia, I know you're looking to see maybe if you'll be able to possibly come with me. It'll be in Kelowna, June 18th, and I'll be selling tickets there for the bike as well. So there's a couple opportunities to be able to purchase them live, and otherwise you can go on email. And this is right across Canada. We will ship that. E-bike right out to you. So anywhere in Canada.
Yep. So everyone, we love you guys, and thank you for being here with us. Yes. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the weekend. Live free, be free, stand in your own, and above all else, never lose hope, because in the end, we win.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Love you all. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you all. Bye.